There we go. My microphone is back. Hello, everybody.
Yo.
Happy 15 years of Teenage Robot.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. It's we're technically on the first, but as I've already said it in the chat, we can't live stream on Wednesday, so this is the best we got. This is the best we can do. So, but anyway, this is our 15th anniversary celebration live stream, in which we're going to be talking about not only the original series, but as well as our new series, as we always do. But this time, even having some content drops all around Teenage Robot Celebration. Hello, everybody. And also, during which I'm also going to be working on we've been trying to release a casting call number 4 video now for a while. And we are entering the final stages, thank goodness. This morning, I also decided that I wanted to add, in the original script, well, first of all, these guys have no idea what casting call for I'm even talking about. It's going to involve, they're going to see it, so so in a sec here, so it involves Kilgore. And in the original script, Kilgore originally ends with an audible crash. Like you hear it, but you don't see it. This morning, I decided that wasn't enough. That I couldn't be lazy about it, and I had to just show him falling over. So I've been animating that all day too. Let's see. I'm gonna get right onto Kilgore here with the screen share. I can start streaming that and answer questions as we go along. And in doing so, we're going to talk about also our first encounter with Teenage Robot. What, all growing up with the show, everything like that. It's going to be fun. So, and switch it now. What a lovely face to switch on. Hey, it's Kilgore. All right. I'm going to move that to the side. All right. I'm moving my windows around right now so I can see the chat and at least attempt to see the chat. Come on, Google. Work with me. There we go. All right. Now I have the animation window on my screen, the chat window, and the Hangouts window. So I'm all good. All right. So that being said, be sure to throw out their questions. I think the first thing we should talk about, 15 years. When was the first time, if you can even remember this, because I'm sure we've grown up with Teenage Robot here. When was the first time you saw Teenage Robot, if you can remember it, and if not, just the earliest memory? And what episode was it?
Well, I'm pretty sure the first time I saw Teenage Robot was the the pilot on OEA Cartoons in 1999. I have like vague memories of seeing that. And then, of course, I watched season 1 when it was premiering on Nickelodeon.
Uh-huh. You go way back.
Way back. Yeah, Jenny and I go way back.
Oh, man. Gosh, I think the earliest memory I have of seeing a Teenage Robot episode, it's one of the season 1 episodes.
Yeah, I don't even remember what was the first episode I seen.
I think it was one of the season 1 episodes, so I'm pretty sure I watched it as it premiered. But
yeah,
it goes so far back I can't really. But what I can recall, I've told this story before. What I can recall all way back in the day is that I one Halloween. I almost skipped going trick-or-treating because Escape from Cluster Prime was going to be playing on Nickelodeon. And I was dressed up as Darth Vader, and I was legitimately about to skip going trick-or-treating just so I could watch Cluster Prime. And then someone brought up to me that I can just TiVo it and then come back and watch it later. And then I'm like, oh,
Here you go.
okay, I'll do that. And I must you can't burn out a recording like you can a VHS, but if you could, I would have, because I watched that recording so many times afterward. And I remember the recording would annoy me kind of because there was a glitch at the very beginning. And when those who have TiVo know that if there is a glitch, satellite glitch, when the thing is recording, that glitch is permanent now, and it is always going to glitch in that exact same location now that you've recorded it. And so there would be a glitch at the beginning of the episode, and it always annoyed the hell out of me.
What kind of glitch was it?
Oh, it's just a glitch when the thing gets all pixelated for a brief second, and the audio peaks really high, and then goes back to normal.
Okay.
Like that sort of kind of noise.
Yeah. And
there was also another thing that annoyed me about the recording is that there was a promo, a very, very large and annoying promo. I've never seen a promo like this in my entire life. It was a promo that literally ate up 75% of the screen.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I didn't know what they were thinking when they invented that promo, but it ate the entire screen. It wasn't just a little thing on the bottom that would go away. It lasted like 2 to 3 to 5 seconds, anywhere in there, and it was the entire screen. Well, 75%. I'm sorry, 75% of the screen. It was. I can't remember what it promoting. For the life of me.
Grimy. That's like those promos that would pause whatever you're watching and then start talking to you. Like, I remember I was watching Family Guy, and then like this promo for the Bill Engvall show came out and actually paused Family Guy, and Bill Engvall started talking to me. And I was like, go away, Bill Engvall.
I can't, that kind of just proves on how effective it was, because I can't remember for the life of me what it was promoting. I remember it was like some kid with orange hair and a blue vest. That's what ate up the entire screen, and that's what I remember. I don't remember the name of the show. I don't remember what the show was about. I just remember it being an blue vest, orange-haired kid that ate up the entire screen. Not again. I keep saying entire, but so large that it may as well have been entire. 75% of the screen. If this was like this little TV screen was the thing, it would have been ate up like that. That was the advertisement right there, and then that little segment that's blank up there was Teenage Robots. So it was just annoying as hell. All right. And then I just remember it disappearing. I honestly, when Teenage Robot was canceled, I was just going through a phase where I was just weaning off of Nickelodeon style cartoons, and I was moving towards more action series.
Same. Except for me, that phase happened after season 1. I didn't really see much of season 2 and 3 on TV.
Right. I believe the last time I saw Teenage Robot on television was back in 2008 or 2009, one of the two.
See, I didn't even make it that far. I made it 2 episodes into season 2, and then I started watching Teen Titans instead of Teenage Robot.
I think I started watching Clone Wars. This was back when the Clone Wars was just starting, season 1 and season 2. Back in 2008, 2009. But as those who also know trivia on Teenage Robot, 2008, 2009 was also the run of the completed season 3 of Teenage Robot. So the last time I saw Teenage Robot on television was, and I kicked myself in the shin for this, but it was when it was a downtime of the Clone Wars, where I was actually either waiting for it to turn on, the Clone Wars to turn on, or I was setting it up to record the Clone Wars so I could come back and watch it later. I briefly saw Teenage Robot playing on Nickelodeon, and I turned it on for a little bit to eat up that downtime, and it was good old Sheldon. It was good old Sheldon, and well, good old Sheldon slash the whatever the name of the episode with the tiny aliens that worship Jenny. That split up those episodes. That was the one that was playing, and after I had it ate up my time, I remember this specifically because I had an internal thought of, oh, they brought back Teenage Robot. That's good. That's a good show. And then I went over to the Clone Wars or something, like I said, I watched it during the downtime, and then I never saw it on TV again. That was the last time I saw it. So yeah, I'm kicking myself in the shin for like I should have maybe watched it in its entirety. Because yeah. But what can you do? I definitely didn't know that season 3 had been completed then for well over a year and just never had been broadcasted.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw his base for that. Yeah, I can just draw the base and then copy and paste it on those frames. Okay. And then as for the years went by, and then this whole idea started where what happened is that what started this all, I watched a video about nostalgic TV series theme songs. Right? Of all things. It was there's a bunch of compilations of this stuff on YouTube if you just go up and search it. But there's these compilations where they put together all these children's cartoons and they just hey, feel nostalgic for a while, and then you watch it and you just, have memories of watching these shows. All these shows played, and I got reintroduced to a bunch of shows that I used to watch. And then I went because of that, I went on a nostalgic run and just started rewatching the shows. I rewatched Danny Phantom, I rewatched Invader Zim, I rewatched American Dragon, I rewatched Spectacular Spider-Man, Martin Mystery, all these shows that I grew up with as a kid. I was born in the late 90s, but I totally grew up with the early 2000s cartoons.
Yep.
Eventually I'm like, and the common theme on a lot of these were that they were canceled. They weren't concluded. And so I grew tired of that. And then I got the idea of saving one because I was an animator and I'm like, hey, I can animate somewhat and I'm learning as I go. What if I did a big finale for one of these shows? And then the story I've told the story before. I chose the finalist 3, which was Martin Mystery, American Dragon, and Teenage Robot, and eventually went with Teenage Robot, not only because it has a very interesting art style that is very easy to adapt into, the Art Deco being so mathematical and simple, yet complex. It's more so about texturing than it is about specific shapes, but although mathematic shapes are a big part of it. But anyway, it had a lot of potential for development. There's a lot of ideas that can be drawn from it. American Dragon, it would have been, if I had chosen that one, it would have been 2 movies. That would have been it. Definitely not enough. They had already done, a lot in the original American Dragon run, because unlike Teenage Robot, where it's the series where is split up, each episode is split up into 2 individual episodes, so you basically have 2 episodes per episode. American Dragon, if memory serves, was a 20-minute formula series where the entire episode was 20 minutes, and they had 26 episodes per season. So they told very complete stories, and a lot of their villains was done, and so they were the main 2 villains were all that was left. and even then even those guys kind of had endings. But I basically was thinking about Dark Dragon and Huntsman. That's his name. But Teenage Robot, on the other hand, you have all these villains that need to be concluded. And then you can also turn the plot into so many different ways, showing Jenny developing and graduating and all that stuff, going through her last years of high school. And it's like there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. So I eventually chose Teenage Robot because, again, the art style and potential. And here we are. So that being said, I think we have neglected the chat a little bit. So I'm going to go back and see if there's let's see. Are there any questions that we've been missing during our recounting of Teenage Robot? If we have, copy and paste them again, because I have not. I can't. If I scroll all the way up, I'm just going to get more and more behind at this point. Okay, Adian Lopez asks, are you going to create new characters that are similar to comic characters like Batman or Deadpool, or just Batman because Deadpool is too violent? We definitely create a lot of new characters, but no, we can't go too violent. We're keeping it PG. So, and when we create these new characters, we try to keep them original, because I don't like going to other series and go, I want Deadpool in our series, but I want it to be different. It's like, I can't do that. So we want to keep it somewhat original. Here, Christian McLaughlin asks, what characters do you share the most similarities with?
Well,
I think the obvious answer is Vexus, because I want the entirety of mankind to be destroyed.
There you go.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Character I have most in common with. You know, ironically enough, I'm probably going to be going with Sheldon. I probably have the most in common with Sheldon, to be honest. I had crooked teeth in high school. I was a wimp. I'm terrible in athletics. Total geek. Knew all the Star Wars facts that I could recount off the back of my hand. I definitely didn't stalk people, but everything else is pretty much spot on for me. I even have a little bit of a hunch when I walk. So, what about you, Eric?
Probably a mix between Sheldon and Brad. Like, kind of for the same reasons. You know, I was kind of like a nerd in high school, but I was also, you know, a lot like Brad. And I'm not just saying that because I'm voicing him, but it's like, one thing I realized about Brad is he's basically the living personification of the song "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" by The Offspring.
I gotta listen. I would have to listen to that. Let's see. I'm surprised we're the only. I think Nick would be here, but I think his computer's updating, so he has like, he can't be online at the present time. But I'm gonna have to. I need to look up a reference for Kilgore, because I got to draw that little base of his in order to do that final frame, or that as he's falling over. There we go. So it's basically just a little trapezoid with a little curve to it. Come on. All right. And check the comments. All right. Okay. Garrett Thief asks, will this continue the original series? Yes, it will. Basically, well, we're not official, of course, but what we're basically acting as is we're pretending like, what if season 3 was not the last season of Teenage Robot? We're trying to replicate the style of the show to a T, and we're trying to get everything in continuity with one another. And yeah, we're treating it as if the show was never canceled, and trying to be a seamless transition between season 3 and season 4. Obviously, it won't be completely seamless, but we're trying to do that just by inexperience, as well as it being a hobby instead of a occupation. So, but we're trying our hardest. Okay, that just got real weird with that. Thank you. There we go. Smooth that out. Now we have basically Kilgore's little base here, and I just got to draw the lightning bolts on it. People see the dying. There we go. And questions. Brian Boyd asks, can you make a video with Jenny and her friends dancing to the song All the Star by Kendrick Lamar? I don't know who that is.
I know who that is, but I never heard that song.
I'm sorry to say that I do not know a lot of song people who are lyrical, at least. I can name song people, yes. I can name a bunch of composers at the back of my hand that I listen to all the time, but I do not know lyrical songs.
All the Star. What about All Star by Smash Mouth?
That I know.
Yeah.
I wish I had the talent to bring that to life. Jenny dancing to All Star.
Finally!
Hey!
Hello.
Oops, that's not the right color. I want this color. Now I need a new yellow. More yellow. There we go. That should do it. Now I delete these lines. And there we have that. Place the line that was deleted onto. Oop. There we go. Kilgore's little body. I'll see them dying in the dust. Okay, so it doesn't look right. That's how Kilgore's designed. I just made it too wide. I'm looking at a reference of Kilgore right now. This is how he looks. I am missing the arm. I'll add that in next. This is what we call limited animation, where you take same frame and you copy and paste it and you shift it around a bit to make it look like it's part of the overall drawing. You can hardly tell when it's actually being animated because it shifts around so much that it doesn't. Kilgore is also is part of that. It's gonna be all right. Questions. Silver Shell secret reveal. Bloodborne Virus says, I don't. Oh, I think she means, will the Silver Shell's secret be revealed? That is a plot point that we do need to wrap up. So it's definitely something that we need to cover at some point. Whether or not it's revealed or not, that's open discussion. But it's definitely the secret of the Silver Shell is something that we need to cover in the series at some point. So it's definitely not something that we're just going to forget about. It needs to be addressed. Paul Webb asks, ooh, this is an interesting question. Do you guys have any ideas for your own original cartoons?
That is a good question.
I got a few, but they're so early in development, it's basically nothing. I had one idea where it's like, maybe you're following a dragon throughout the entire series, and it's just the dragon, no talking, completely silent, and it's just that. It's just following the dragon, walking around a forest or something, encountering things in the forest. It's like a little mini series, like little 5-minute episodes that you would see during commercial breaks or something. That's one of my.
And I had one idea about like an American street gangster, kind of like Johnny Gat from the Saints Row series, who like goes to like a Hogwarts school.
Uh-oh. Oh. Loaded for a while there, so I got scared that it might have crashed. Toon Boom's pretty good on that, though. I haven't had a single instance where Toon Boom... Well, I have had one instance where Toon Boom crashed on me. Other times, and it's the only because when I go too fast for it, like I'm clicking too much. I've never had it quit on me because the animation was too much. It was always because of human error. I was pressing too many buttons at too quick a pace. All right, I gotta escape. Oh, here's an Christian McLaughlin is asking the deep question with this one. When you run into a problem with this, how do you work past it? I have chosen to take up the violin when troubled. What do you do? When we encounter a problem with this, with this series, whether it be like a script that we've hit a writer wall with, or like an animation glitch, like I've experienced with the past week with this stupid thing. But yeah, I haven't even talked about that. This was supposed to come out last Sunday, but this little tag up here, this is the bone for it, but the tag was just didn't want to comply, and so it's almost fixed at this point. Like I said, I'm animating this part here, but then we're going to put that back in. But anyway, when we encounter something like that, it depends on what it is. If it's like writer's block, we usually take a breather. And because you can't really force your way through writer's block, it's kind of, well, you can, but it's like, it's hard. And when you do, you usually come up with something that you eventually end up deleting when you're more inspired. So if it's like something like writer's block, we usually take a breather and maybe work on a different script. If it's something like this animation glitch, it's literally just turn on your, for me at least, my process through this all was turn on my favorite music or something, or turn on a movie in the background and just power through it. And it's worked pretty well so far. I'm in the final stretch of animating Kilgore here, so. And after that, it's just exporting and do a bunch of doing this. This is a big blank spot for just computer text that goes in the Final Cut program. But all right, so okay. What do you do, Eric?
I usually just pick up my guitar and just futz around with it until I come up with a better idea.
Yeah, it's basically just
Yeah, it's not always my guitar though. Sometimes it's my bass. Sometimes it's my harmonica.
Yeah. So the best thing you can basically do with these things when you get stuck on something is that you basically take a breather and do something you really enjoy doing. Don't spend too much time on that thing you enjoy doing, because then you don't get any work done. But you just take a breather, you do some stuff you like doing, and get and come back to it later, and usually that helps. Apocalypse brings up a really good point. Has anyone kept up with the news about the original? It's a little off topic, but it's related because of how we're bringing everything back. Has anyone kept up with the news about the original Teen Titans? They might continue to remake the series depending on how well Teen Titans Go movie does. Okay, in a previous couple live streams ago, the news broke out a long time ago, is that someone tweeted, who worked on the movie for Teen Titans Go, is that they said that if the movie does well enough, they will bring back Teen Titans on Cartoon Network for a season 6, the original Teen Titans. I called it bullcrap. I'm like, no, that is just a ploy to get people's butts in the seats. There's no way they're going to follow that up on their promise. And I sit here corrected, because if you have seen Teen Titans Go, which I haven't, but I have seen what I'm about to say. A little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but I mean, does anyone care about Teen Titans Go being spoiled? But they are at the end credits of Teen Titans Go. There was a promo, I'm not kidding, for Teen Titans Season 6. So I sit here corrected. They are bringing back Teen Titans, the original series, for a Season 6. The clip is all over the internet right now. I'm sure if you just type in Teen Titans Season 6, you're going to find it, because they've already started uploading it from recording it in the theater or whatever. But yeah, this is the trippiest thing I have ever seen in my life. Because not 3 years ago, when we made that PSA for school announcements, and we went over that all those series that were canceled, the Clone Wars was in that, the Samurai Jack, Young Justice. I'm pretty sure Teen Titans was briefly in there. If not, I mean, I think it was mentioned or something, but we brought that Invader Zim, that was definitely in there. There's all these shows that were in there that we're talking about that were canceled, and that there's quote unquote their stories will never be completed. And now the vast majority of that list is coming back. Clone Wars is coming back. That's awesome. I can't wait for that. I want to see more Grievous, baby. Teen Titans Season 6 is coming back. Young Justice Season 3 is coming back. Invader Zim's getting its own movie. Rocco's Modern Life is getting a movie. Our Hey Arnold already had the movie.
I think Rugrats is getting like a live action thing.
I don't know how well that's going to turn out, but I think so. But another Samurai Jack already had its season 5 finale. All these shows are coming back. That's insane. That's like if you would have told me years ago when I started this whole thing where it's like I want to complete a series to be half the shows that I looked at are coming back now. Oh, that's just incredibly ironic to me. It's incredibly ironic. including Teenage Robot, because we're bringing that back unofficially though. Ours is unlike the other ones. We're unofficial, of course. But does anyone else find that's crazy?
A little bit.
All right, let's see. Have I missed any more questions? Sorry, I missed a lot of questions here during this whole conversation here. All right, ALMAO asks, are you guys open to taking suggestions for episode? Yes, we are. We always are. I will warn, though, that season 4 is filled. Like we have our stories for season 4 in their script mode and everything like that. Season 5 though is where it's like we can take more story ideas and stuff like that for episodes, because that's still a mixed bag in the story department. We have a general concept of what we want to do for season 5, but nothing like ironed down. We've been mainly focusing on season 4. So yeah, we take suggestions. Ramez13 asks something in a different language that I cannot understand. I'm sorry. I'm just moving toward. Okay, DC Around the Nation Dan asks, if there is a season 5 or 6, can it be fan-made episodes and seasons? Well, this is a fan-made episode / season. None of us are officially connected to Frederator or Nickelodeon. We're all fans here, making this whole series. And yeah, so there's not going to be a season 6, because season 4 and 5 is enough, trust me. But hey, I mean, I should say there's not going to be a season 6 from us. If another group of fans wants to take up and make a season 6, hey, more power to them. But we're just going to do season 4 and 5 and call it at that. All right, Mel A asks, what character voices do you have so far? We have Sheldon, we have Jenny, we have Wakeman, we have the entire main 5 except Tuck. Tuck is still vacant. It'd be easier to list the ones we don't have.
Exactly.
We don't have Tuck, Vexus. The majority of the biker gang, the only one in the biker gang who has been casted has been Sludge, and that's the one. Yeah, Eric is Sludge. Sludge is the one, not Tammy and not Letta and not Olga, who is the leader. No, Letta's the leader. Olga's the big one. Tammy's the one that almost married Brad, and Sludge is the other one, the more growly, raspy throat one. And then there's Lenny, but I mean Lenny's just a little dude who makes like noises. Let's see, another character, Uncle Wisley. We're bringing back Uncle Wisley, and he needs to be casted. Kenny YK9 needs to be casted. Phineas Mogg needs to be casted.
Wisteria,
Aunt Wisteria. She's coming back too. Teresa, that's another one.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, though, that's where I don't know if anyone else needs to be casted after that. Other than background characters, which is literally just a first come, first serve here, how we treat it. Whoever wants to voice them gets to voice them. It's basically like, hey, do you sound like a janitor? Yeah. All right, you can voice the janitor if you want. Because we're not going to do this whole freaking audition process just for every single, even if, like, it'd be pointless, because it'd be like, well, there's one dude in the back that goes, hey, you really going to cast someone for that? It's just get someone saying, hey, there you go. let's see. So yeah, basically those are the big ones. Essentially I think those are about the only ones left at this point. Kilgore's been casted. I mean, he's talking in this little casting call number 4 here. Gigawatt's been casted. All the main villains have been casted.
Well, except for the main villain.
Yeah, except for the main villain herself, Vexus. God. We're just lucky. You know what we're lucky? We're lucky about with Vexus, though. I will admit right now, we're lucky that she's in exile. That's because if she wasn't in exile, we'd have an even bigger problem with her. Not being able to cast her right now. All right. Will Tammy have her own episode? Sorcerer MCS. Will Tammy have her own episode where she becomes the main antagonist of an episode? The biker gang comes back, but I don't think we're planning for Tammy specifically to be the main villain of an episode. We could. I mean, we're still working on the biker gang script. Not gonna lie, but I don't know if we'd be able to fit that in. Maybe. Nothing planned yet, but maybe. Let's see. I'm just looking through all the questions again. Oh my gosh, I'm missing so many questions. I really have to catch up here. All right, rapid fire mode. Oh my gosh, I'm going through the questions of when I was talking about freaking all the cartoons coming back. That's how behind I am right now. I need to just pick up the pace. Oh, here's a good one. Cartoon Fan 67 asked, well, I think you guys should make an episode where Jenny experiences smell and taste. Yes. And yes, he acknowledges that Jenny had the nose ring and ear of evil. Ear no evil. We actually talked about the prospect of having, since there was already 3 sensory episodes, one with sight, hearing, and speaking. Well, speaking isn't really a sense, but but the problem with that is that we couldn't really come up with a plot that would surround the fact without it being weird. We could come up with plenty of plots that would surround Jenny eating, but none that was not weird. Another one, what was it? Smell. Again, it was like, what plot can we surround with smelling things? That's like, what can you do with that without it being super weird? Because with like see no evil it was enhanced vision basically, and then trade-off being she looked terrible or with the big bug eyes. Hear no evil is when she was accessorizing basically. And that was the main plot of the episode. It wasn't really about her hearing getting better all of a sudden. It was because she had earrings, and it was about trying to fit it. Another episode about trying to fit in, changing your appearance.
Finally, I got up to work again.
And then the other one, Speak No Evil, was literally an episode where Jenny lost the ability to speak the English language. So you could play with that. An episode where Jenny gained the ability to eat and taste.
Oh boy.
We couldn't come up with a concept that was like not weird. Because obviously with an episode like that, you would have to take it so where it's like the plot actually has to contribute to the fact that reverse that. I'm sorry. The fact that she can now taste things has to contribute to the plot, obviously. But where do you take it from there is basically what we couldn't answer that without it being weird. Basically, it was like the most we got with that with a tasting sort of episode is that Jenny overeats and starts eating.
Yeah, like the concept artist was. One of the concept artists or character designers have actually like drawn some episode, like some sketches where Jenny would have overeaten and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically she would just turn it. She was like one of those. It wasn't like one of those concepts where she gets huge because she's eating so much. It was like she becomes like a chomper thing and then starts eating things, just eating everything, and it just got weird. And we were like, what is this episode? So we couldn't really come up with an idea or a plot idea that would build off the fact that she can eat now, and that wouldn't be weird. And on top of that, same goes for smelling. I mean, with that one, we didn't even get off the table because we were like, we didn't even try to come up with the concept of a plot because the instant we were like, smelling, so she's just going to go around smelling things. Like, what does this smell like? What does this smell like? What does this smell like? It's like, that's it.
Yeah, for some odd reason, we have Wolfbang.
So that's why we don't have any episodes planned for tasting and smelling.
One episode.
Okay, moving for other questions.
Don't worry, guys. This is just a sketch. The actual product is actually.
Let's see. Yes,
few quick seconds.
All right, I'm going through these questions quick. Cartoon fan 67. Oh wait, that's not a question. My bad. Sorry, I read that wrong. My bad.
There we go.
All right, I have caught up. 80 and Lopez asked question. There should be an episode where Jenny decides to become part of the police force and has police glasses and uniform, but takes it too far. And I don't mean murder. Well, that's an interesting concept. I think though the direction we took though mostly for Teenage Robot is that she kind of has in a few episodes. I mean, it's not a main plot of the season 4, but there's definitely in a few episodes she definitely has. And it's been established in other episodes of Teenage Robot. She definitely has a rivalry almost with Skyway. So before we have any talks about her joining the police force, that rivalry would have to end because Skyway is basically the police force of Teenage Robot universe. There is no other. We never saw any other cops. It was basically Skyway that patrols the world. But in order for her to become a police officer, she would have to essentially end her rivalry with them before that happened. So we have a few episodes where that rivalry. We have a few episodes, I think, where that rivalry with Skyway comes into play in this, but none yet that conclude that rivalry. I don't think. So. If anything, that would be an idea for season 5, her concluding her rivalry with Skyway Patrol and then becoming a police officer at some point. So, yeah.
You could make it like a 30s short, like the 1930s with those weird ideas.
Mm-hmm.
More in a direction of parody. Plus, in general, Skyway Patrol, according to Sorcerer SMC, is voiced by L. Emery.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Who had voiced Sarge in the Toy Story series up until his death.
Yeah.
Ogmer still haven't been a Toy Story
like a good guy. That guy. R. Lee Ermey.
it's odd. Toy Story 4 is in production, and Don Wrinkles and Army aren't even involved with the project since they passed away tragically.
Yeah. Although I don't.
30 seconds. Sorry, Jack.
ALMAO, do you guys plan to do anything with the Cross Cousins? They were the antagonists quite a few episodes, if I remember right. Yes, we have a lot of episodes with the Cross Cousins. Actually, a lot of them. Heck, they might have been. Wow, I'm just starting to realize how many episodes we have with the Cross Cousins. They show up a lot in season 4, don't they? What they're in Exponential. I think yeah, they briefly are. They definitely have a speaking role in Integers. They have a speaking role in Rusted In. They have a speaking role in After Hours. They have a speaking role in They have a speaking role. They have a lot of roles. The Cross Cousins have a lot. So yeah, expect more Cross Cousins. Brian Boyd asks, "Will you do a live-action movie of Teenage Robot?" No.
No, not really. Not really in the budget.
Not only is that not in the budget, but I mean,
in our non-existent budget.
I don't even know where to begin with that. I'm still in film school, man. I don't know how to do that kind of crazy stuff yet. With the CGI robots flying around the screens and stuff, I don't know how to do that yet. Heck, I'm honestly amazed by if you want to amaze me immediately, show me a transforming mechanical object on screen. Because 9 times out of 10 with those CGI mechanical things, a CG artist has literally constructed that thing from the gears up so that it can literally transform like that. And that's crazy. I find that way more impressive than, even though it is already impressive to create a giant like creature or something with flesh and skeletal structure and everything like that. Compared to the amount of planning it would take to make every single gear and cog work like that and transform into something like the Transformers series. I mean, they're terrible movies, but I mean, the effects of them transforming, that's cool. Because they literally think about how each individual little piece is going to, go into that. And that's crazy. He deserves a better director, though. Anyway. But yeah, I don't even know if we were to do Teenage Robot in live action, we would be multiplying that by 10 with Jenny. Because it's not only just she, not only have one form she can take, she has all these different gears and stuff and all these different weapons. I have no idea where even to begin with that. Adi and Lopez, will you guys reference themselves like how Rob and the rest of the crew animated himself? We don't have any self-insert characters, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, we do show up in the background a few times. In the background, we don't have any self-insert. Don't get me wrong. So, but the crew sometimes shows up in the background. And hey, and not only that, but sometimes even we have references to other members in the background. Like I'm pretty sure we have.
Shall we reveal some episodes at this point?
Yeah, we're coming up on it. Well, for those who don't know, we're dropping content in this stream to celebrate the 15-year anniversary. As I'm animating this Kilgore here, we are going to be dropping aside from one, we are dropping we've dropped titles and synopsises in the past of our episodes, but for this stream, we're going to be dropping every single season 4 episode aside from one that we're going to keep secret. There's one episode we're going to keep secret, but every single other episode that we're working on season 4 with, we're going to drop here. We've kept it under wraps for a very long time, but at this point, we are going to drop it. So, I'm actually going to, when do you guys think we should do it? We should do it in intervals, or should we do it all at once?
I should do it all at once, probably.
Let me see if I can find the list. We have a list. Although I might have to rewrite a few synopsises because of I'm reading a few right now. All right. Yeah, there's a few I'm gonna have to modify the descriptions from because some of it changed in the writing process. But that being said, I'm going to load it up here. Well, I might as well just go through the entire season 4. I'm gonna go to teenagerobot.com. Oop, nope, Teenage Robot Rebooted. Robot Rebooted. There we go. Synopses. All right, so we're gonna go through them one by one, starting all the way to the beginning from season 4, episode 1, and I'm going to. Season 4, Episode 1 is Activation Day. In the year 2067, Dr. Noreen Wakeman, a scientist specializing in robotics, battles the police force of Skyway Patrol over the continuation of her questionable experiments. But with all honesty, who could blame the Skyway Patrol? After the Armageddroid incident, Wakeman can't be trusted with defensive androids any further. However, with the rise of a newfound alien terror, the stubborn officers may not have a choice in the matter. In order to save the planet, a hero must be born. For those that don't know, Activation Day is a prequel. It takes place before Season 1, Episode 1 of the original Teenage Robot series even happened. It is, as it sounds with the title, Jenny's activation. And then, it's basically, the reason why we came up with that was basically, for those who don't know, it was basically the question of how do we reintroduce all these characters without them going, my name's Jenny. My name's Brad. So it's seamless, but people are still reminded about who these characters are. Well, why don't we go all the way back before the series even began, and we literally have a prequel. So it's literally introducing them for the first time, technically. And then we can get back to the present day in the next episode, which we do. In Exponential Expulsion, the Season 4, Episode 2A, the first episode is a special 20-minute Activation Day. The next one, you start the standard formula being split up into different episodes. 402A, Season 4, Episode 2A, Exponential Expulsion. The 100th destruction of the school seems to be the last straw for Vice Principal Rosinski, who expels Jenny from the campus. But that problem will have to wait because bigger solutions loom over the town of Tremerton. Jenny gets expelled. And that's an entire episode dealing with that and the ramifications of Jenny having destroyed the school for the 100th time. Next episode, Robotomize. This was a concept submitted by Lissandro over on the discussion forums. In the process of a community vote, a long ways back, we announced this community vote. We had the vote. We went through all these different things, and the community eventually decided on this episode. It was originally called Hardcore, but we changed the name to Robotomized to better fit the plot and to come up with a punny title. So, Robotomized. After a night of saving the city from an alien invasion, Jenny goes off to celebrate with her friends. But the next morning, she wakes up having lost her personality and her emotions. It's up to Brad and Sheldon to figure out what's wrong with Jenny and how to fix it before the town falls at the hands of the destructive Gearhead. Yes. So it is basically that's the pun on word. The play on words is robot and lobotomy, which is But yeah, this was an idea submitted by Lysandra over on the discussion forums and a community vote. We're probably going to have a similar idea for season 5, where we're going to have another community vote, except for the season 5 one, I'm pretty sure is going to be like this one we kind of said was fan written, but it technically wasn't. You can make the argument it wasn't, because it wasn't technically fan written. The idea was written by a fan and submitted by a fan and chosen by the fans, but it wasn't written. I guess you could say we still wrote it. So for season 5, when we do this community vote thing again, I'm gonna try. Still trying to come up with how we're gonna do this, but I'm gonna try to set up where the community writes the episode, and the community has a much bigger hand. Maybe we can do it like public live streams, where we write the episode with the community during live streams. Because the biggest problem with having a document go public is that anyone can modify it, and that's the problem. It would never get done because people would constantly. There'd be a handful of trolls going in there typing Rule 34 stuff. There'd be a handful of people typing in crossover stuff, and it's just you can't do that. So that's basically what we're probably going to solve in season 5. But anyway, moving on to the other episodes in season 4. Next episode, that ends. So now we're gone through episode 1 and 2. 1 is a 20-minute special. 2 is a standard split up into 2 episodes. Next one is another standard 2 split up. 403A, Rusted In. A fierce thunderstorm hits Tremerton, locking Jenny indoors. However, crime definitely isn't put on hold. How can Jenny combat the usual waves of crime with all this rain and thunder cramping her style? Jenny has to deal with the ramifications of being stuck in a thunderstorm. Dealing with water, basically. That's the...
Rusting in the rain, one might say.
Yes. Let's see. I'm going to keep the... All right. Any... I'm just checking any...
Nah, Jack, not watch. Which means still awake. Do you already have a leisure free time / vacation from Voxel Fusion?
I have... What? Hold on.
Nah, Jack. No.
I don't... Well, he's obviously... It's a foreign language.
It's German.
Oh. I'm not... Well, Google Translate isn't translating it right. I'm sorry, I don't speak... It's asking... Google Translate has translated it to, do you already have a lecture free time / vacation? That doesn't make any... That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Stupid Google Translate. Sorry, Voxel Fusion, but... All right, so... Paul Webb asked, do you guys ever watch the Cartoon Network show Robotomy? Yes, and in fact, that's actually where the name also comes from. Robotomized, robotomy, lobotomy. It's all based on the same pun. Anyway. Okay, so moving through down the list, I don't think there's any big prevalent questions. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going quick because right now I'm doing a review. I haven't even gotten to the new stuff. Season 4, episode 3, part B. Integers not intellectual. The XJ sisters have had it. They want out of the basement permanently. However, Wakeman is viciously adamant about keeping them deactivated and in the basement. So the challenge arises. If they can go one normal day without going haywire like their prototype selves, they can remain activated. But if they fail, it's back to storage. So it's an episode based entirely on the fact that the XJ sisters want to be normal like Jenny, basically. And they want to roam around free and not be deactivated all the time. Yeah. So, 404A, going into episode 4 of season 4. They came from outer space, with Jenny, Brad, and Wakeman off to an award ceremony, and his dad taking the night shift. Tuck takes the opportunity to watch the Sci-Fi Movie Madness Marathon 3D on Channel 87. However, situations start to get a little too real when things start to go bump in the night. This is heavily inspired by the superhero genre, as well as the old 1950s cartoons where there are not cartoons, the 1950s movies where the evil aliens come down and invade. Basically, yeah. So it's a Tuck episode. It's a Tuck-centric episode where he deals with things going bump in the night. And I don't want to give too much away on it.
I think we've already revealed them.
Well, yeah, I get. Good point. We already did reveal the antagonist of this episode. It's Grub, Looper, and Weevil. Our Stooges. Yeah, our Stooges robots from the Cluster Prime. So it's basically Tuck encountering those guys in this. They came from outer space. And then the next episode, 404B, Adventures in Journalism. With the Mudslingers' recent release from prison, Jenny keeps a close eye on the criminal on parole. What's he up to? And why does his fellow Legion of Doom, I almost said Legion of Evil, Legion of Doom want revenge? Wait,
I think it is the Legion of Evil.
Oh my gosh, that's a typo. It's supposed to be Legion of Evil. Where does the Legion of Doom come from? That's the
what?
Wait,
is that Super Friends?
Yeah, that's from Super Friends, the Legion of Doom.
What? Oh, come on.
It's supposed to be Legion of Evil. All right, I can fix that when I'm adding all the other new synopses we're gonna get to. But yeah, Mudslinger gets out of prison, wants to live a normal life. Jenny's suspicious, and the Legion of Evil want revenge on something that he did. So, yeah. The next episode, Season 4, Episode 5, Next Gen Console. Jenny has played multiple arcade games before, but when she discovers the realm of online video games and a new ability of hers, she becomes addicted. So much so that it starts to get out of hand. So it's basically an episode where Jenny discovers she's played video games before, but this is when she discovers online video games, communicating with people across the planet, and all that sort of things. Where online capabilities, and hence the title Next Gen Console.
I believe we revealed this antagonist too.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Quetzalcoatl is the
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, it's a villain. Let's see. Do I have concept art on hand that I can show? Buried somewhere. I gotta find it.
I think there's still the one on the drive, but I don't know if that's finalized.
No, that was an early concept. I know which one you're talking about. At least I think I do. Good. No, now that I think about it, there's 2 on the drive, aren't there? Yeah, all right. I'm not seeing any immediately, so I'm thinking, because we're still in the recap mode. We got to get to the big drops. All right. Whoa. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Next episode, I'm just going to keep moving down the list because I want to get to the new stuff. Next episode, 405B, second part of episode 5. Beach Time Calamity. The summertime heat wave brings gloom to everyone in Tremerton. Time to hit the beach. So, the basic, I know it's a little bit vague of synopsis. So that's basically a giant heat wave hits Tremerton. Everyone goes to the beach, and the primary plot of the episode is that Tuck is trying to win a free lunch at a local beach parlor restaurant thing through a bunch of contests. That's the primary plot of the episode. Yeah. Next episode, episode 6 of season 4, Nightmare on the Railways. The annual field trip to the Apollo Space and Science Center is here, and the whole school is pumped as they jump on the Tremerton Express to travel there. However, there is more than meets the eye in this overnight trip as Jenny comes to realize that something indeed is going bump. I should probably change that synopsis. That's too much like they came from outer space. Jenny comes to realize that something indeed is going bump in the night. That's too much like they came from outer space. I'm going to change that synopsis. But essentially, they get on a train to go to this big science center. And the plot is that Jenny starts to notice some things about this train that's really weird, and she basically goes investigation mode and checks out what the heck's going on with this train that we're on as we're going to this science center.
It's basically a parody of that Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Let's see. That's where it started. It was originally a plane ride, but then we ended up, it became too similar to Exponential Expulsion, but the climax anyway, so we wanted to switch it to a different local transportation vehicle. So train came up, then yeah. All right, so 406B is the next episode. He walked the line, and I can't remember if we revealed this guy.
I think we did.
I think we talked about him, but I don't know if we ever showed concept art of him because I don't think we.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't think we had finished. Oh, Jesus.
Hello. I don't think we've ever.
The stream will be now taken over by the Black Crows.
Hello.
Yours truly.
Oh, I love that band.
All right. He walked the line is essentially music these days. It's just a bunch of noise, isn't it? One man certainly thinks so and plans to take action against a new form of shrieking melodies. And that man, regardless if we have revealed him before or not, that man, the villain of the episode, is known as Thomas Cash. And let's see, I'm going to bring up some old concept art to get the general idea of what this guy is.
Again, to those who are expecting me, sorry everyone, I fell asleep. I was waiting for it to start, then all of a sudden I actually got off from a meeting for my own project, meaning the camera's rigged, but then I dozed off. And then
all right.
Like, oh shit!
I don't know if we've shown off this concept art before. I'm sorry if I'm just forgetting. But Thomas Cash, this is old concept art, I should say. Also, he's already been updated. His design has been updated. But this is the general idea, some old concept art of Thomas Cash. He is basically this old-timey country/rock singer. You could mix the two, country rock basically, who is fed up with all the crazy music of the modern day, and by modern day I mean 2073. And he wants to basically go to every music shop in town and just devastate it with his own music playing and stuff. He's basically a rogue cowboy here. So yeah, that's that episode. And now we finally we have gone through just about half the season. Now we can get into the real juicy stuff, guys. This is the new episode. This is the new stuff we are going to be reviewing.
For some spoiler alerts.
Well, we're not going to spoil the episodes, trust me, but we're going to reveal their synopsis and their title names for the rest of the season, excluding one. There's one episode that I'm not going to reveal just yet because the title alone gives you an idea of what we're doing with that one. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so the next episode on our list is episode 7. And episode 7 is one I'm particularly excited about because, and people have actually recommended stuff like this It is a holiday episode, guys. Episode 7 of season 4 is a holiday special. It is not a Christmas special. No, this is a Halloween special. Episode 7 of season 4 is split up into 2 parts. Episode 407A. I can find the darn synopsis list, and I just downloaded that I can read. What's going on? Okay. Scrolling down. Okay. Dance Under the Moonlight is 407A. In this Halloween special, the crew is invited to a mysterious Halloween party in an abandoned mansion downtown, but the host remains oblivious to everyone. Who could it be? And that is all I really want to reveal about that episode, because there's a couple of things. I mean, but did we reveal the big thing about it? What do you think, guys? Do we reveal what it is?
I say go for it.
I'm not. I don't, because it's like, it's hard. Let me think it over for briefly. I think we can reveal what it is.
What type of episode it is?
What type of episode it is, on top of it being a Halloween episode, but I don't want to reveal what it's doing it with.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. So
it's gonna be misleading, but who cares?
a long time ago, a lot of questions came in about whether or not we were doing a crossover episode, and we lied when we said no.
Yeah.
We lied. Yes, we are doing a crossover episode. We are doing one crossover episode throughout our entire series of season 4 and 5.
Well, it's technically more like...
Well, no, it's like one episode because it's like this one.
It's not Danny Phantom, guys. It's not Danny Phantom crossovers.
So it's like this one Halloween special is when we're like, all right, fine, we'll do a crossover with another series. And I don't want to reveal who it's crossing over with, because I want to keep that. There's a little bit of mystery going on with that episode, and that revealing who it's crossing over with kind of spoils some of the mystery. So I don't want to reveal who that is just yet. We can do it in a way where it's kind of cool. I don't want to just say it, because I want it to be cool when you guys find out who it is. But it is a crossover episode. We lied. We're sorry. But we are doing one. We are not.
It was a lie for your benefit.
Yes, it was a lie for your benefits, because we wanted to work things. We wanted to work things out first, essentially. But so that being said.
Oh, someone figured it.
No, it's let's see. So that being said, it's this event where the entire town gets invited to this mysterious mansion downtown, and some spooky stuff goes on.
Oh,
that is the first part of the Halloween special. The second part of the Halloween special, 407B, is called Howl of Metal.
Yeah, that was what I kind of enjoyed. I originally wrote the script, but then it got redone. So
during the events of the full moon, Tuck notices Jenny acting strange, at least unusual for a robot. She's anxious, over-aggressive, blasts home at exactly 7:30 every night. Could this be teenage endeavors or something far more sinister? Howl of Metal, full moon. Get the plot. Tuck thinks Jenny's a werewolf and investigates Jenny being a werewolf. And that is our Halloween special, essentially. It starts off, like I said, Dance Under the Moonlight. We go over to this mysterious mansion, and there's a mysterious host who's having this Halloween party. And then Howl of Metal happens, and Tuck... they're actually connected directly.
Yeah, it pretty much takes place immediately after, right after the events of the first one. It's essentially like a two-parter.
Exactly. It's split. It's technically split up into 2 here because it's 2 different plots, but it's essentially right together. It's when Dance Under the Moonlight ends, Howl of Metal begins. They feed right into one another. All right, so that is, and yeah, it's Tuck thinking that Jenny's a werewolf, and thinking like, how do I stop her? Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I know there's already people trying to come up with a combination here. We went through this exact same phrasing. We were trying to like, what's a teenage werewolf robot? It's not werebot because that sounds like a human turning into a robot. It's not robot wolf because you don't think that just sounds like a robot wolf. The phrase we came up with is lycanthropot because we couldn't think of werewolf and robot and combining them, so we went with lycanthropy and robot, and we came up with a lycanthropot. That sounds better. So yeah, Jenny Tech thinks that Jenny is a lycanthropot, basically. All right. That being said, then we move into our. Now that we have crossed over our Halloween episode, we move into the next part. 408A, After Hours. A new ride.
This was a fun one, actually.
Yeah. A new ride at Wisley World sparks everyone's attention, especially Tuck. Wanting to be first in line for the event, he convinces everyone to join him on a camp out on the first.
Yeah.
I might change the synopsis on this because it sounds like Tuck is the main person here, and that's not the case. Wanting to be the first in line for the event, he convinces everyone to join him on a camp out to be the first in line the very next day. However, they may find that things are not all as well they seem. I have a tendency to say things go bump in the night. I'm going to change that too. However, they may find that things are not all what they seem when the darkness falls over the Wisley World. All right, so basic plot premise is that new ride comes to Wisley World. The gang wants to be first in line, first people to ride it when it opens up tomorrow. So they go and they camp out overnight at Wisley World. Crust Cousins show up. Crust Cousins have their own gang. And then they basically through cartoon circumstances, they all end up inside the park after hours, and they essentially get lost, and that is the plot of the episode.
I'm Samuel Foster, and I invited
their way out.
And I invited our guests to After Hours at Wisley World for a little haunted house party.
It's
so amusing.
Basically, it's not going to get as spooky as the Halloween episode, but it's
I gotta be honest. I actually wanted to make like those spooky things pretty much like actual horror episodes because I'm a guy who pretty much
goes straight up horror. But
that's like I care more about the gloom and doom than the sunshine.
After Hours is basically like the bridge between Halloween and the normal episodes. There's a little bit of spooky elements still in there, but it's weaning off the spookiness. All right, so
I actually once nicknamed 3 episodes here my official trilogy of horror, like unofficial.
Let's see. So the next one is 408B, Willow the Wisteria. Jenny,
this is a good one.
With much hardship and many chores to back her up, has finally coaxed Dr. Wakeman into a family trip to Aunt Wisteria's. But can Dr. Wakeman or even Jenny handle a week trip miles away from a single piece of technology? That also needs a little bit of description and change, because the original concept of this episode was that we're going to see what Jenny has to do, what Jenny does when she is away from technology. And so we're going to Aunt Wisteria's house deep into the woods, and we're going to find out how Jenny handles herself when she's technology deficient, being a robot. That's kind of still in there, but the main character of this episode is really Wakeman. The focus shifted from Jenny to Wakeman in the writing process.
Yeah, I do like.
I'm going to change the synopsis a little bit when I post it on the Teenage Robot website.
Yeah, we're still working on like this. It's not fully finished, right?
Well, I think it's not finalized, but we have the general flow of it all done. I should mention that we have about what?
Like 4 more scripts left to finalize.
We still got some work to do.
Well, it's not to say they're not started. They have been started. They're all in rough draft form. They just have yet to be finalized. We have 4 scripts that have yet to be finalized. Everything else, though, is done. Out of the, what is it? 4. Okay, so we got 413 minus 2 minus 1. 26 minus 24. 24 episodes with, and there's only 4 left for finalization. So we have 20 scripts finalized. So we're good. We're good.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that being said, yeah. So it's basically an episode where Jenny and Wakeman go visit Aunt Wisteria in her house. We wanted to flip it.
Glenn, don't forget Glenn.
And Glenn, he's there too. In the one episode where Wisteria came to town is that she came to Jenny's house, and now we wanted to flip it and have them go to Wisteria's and see the hijinks that can ensue with that. So, yeah. Let's see the next. That's another one. 409A. This one's very vague. 404 is the title name of this. Isn't that confusing?
Yeah, the title. The title doesn't exist. This episode doesn't exist.
It's like
Title
409.
not found.
So
409.
let's just skip this one because it technically doesn't exist.
Well,
Let's skip that one.
The synopsis is data could not be found, and I know, and then that's not really that's his official synopsis, but the plot basically is. I'm gonna give away the plot. It'd be weird to keep this a mystery episode.
Yeah,
the plot, it's a play. It's a play on what happens in the plot. It is essentially an episode where Jenny's memory hard drive is damaged, and she loses her capability of the past 5 years. She still remembers being a superhero and everything like that, and being a crime-fighting robot, but she forgets.
And also a teenager.
Yeah, her place in Tremerton, basically. She's still like, she goes back to where like I've just been built or whatever, and it's up to Brad basically to recount her memory because Gigawatt is there. And it's like it's up to him to recount her memory so that she can effectively fight Gigawatt. And we did reveal that he gains some abilities, correct? We revealed what happens.
Gigawatt?
Yeah, did we reveal?
Yeah.
We revealed what happens to Gigawatt in this episode. He transforms. He is in this episode. He becomes no longer Gigawatt. He's an energy.
Becomes something even more.
He gets an energy upgrade, guys. He becomes Terawatt. This is the play on words.
Yeah, it's basically like, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, etc., etc.
Gigawatt, terawatt, sort of that thing. And terawatt is a real thing. Terrorwatt is what we're calling him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Basically, I think we call him both Terawatt and Terrorwatt. Doesn't really.
Which one is terror?
Anyway, yeah. So he basically. Those are all notes on how to animate.
That's all right. Oh, I love this one. Christian McLaughlin said this.
What?
Even a robot who is pure in parts say that their prayers at night may become a wolf when the screws come loose and the monitor's screen is bright. Someone, okay. I want that. Okay, I want that line in that episode. Christian,
it's essentially.
Christian, you deserve a medal. You deserve a medal, buddy.
Now, all right. So essentially here, and Adrian Lopez, yes, he does have basically 4 arms now, but there's a little bit of other things going on. First of all, he's got much larger eyebrows now. Second of all, it's hard to tell.
What's next? He's gonna have a mustache that goes like this.
If the most obvious thing is that he went from red to blue, obviously, and there's a reason for that. You notice that he's on fire, and Terawatt's probably gonna be one of the harder people to animate because of the fire. And
also we have don't forget to mention there's a crack in his light bulb.
Well, yeah. There's a crack.
Yeah,
because
basically
what happened is that he has absorbed radiation, and he is now radioactive. He is no longer
practically at the brink of actually blowing up.
He's basically unstable. He's radioactive now. He's absorbed radiation power instead of electrical power. He's got radioactive power, hence why he's blue. Because for those who don't know, when it is in a factory, is blue. The energy it emits is blue, which is also why Godzilla's atomic ray is blue. So he is literally made of radioactive plasma.
Voxel Fusion said, "Has he upgraded to an LED?"
Yeah, basically. But yeah, he's radioactive now. That's our terawatt. He's a being, a name. What is it? What was his line? A name 1,000 times more powerful for a being. No, that's not the right. Damn it! I voiced this guy. Come on, a being. A name 1,000 times greater for a being 1,000 times more powerful, which is also a play on words. How a terawatt is 1,000 gigabytes, correct?
Gigawatts.
Gigawatts. Yeah, terawatt is 1,000 gigawatts.
Well, duh. That's basically. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's terawatt. All right. So that being said, let's see. Yes, terawatt.
Terawatt speaks.
Yes, I voiced
Well,
terawatt.
duh. He had a voice in Mind Over Matter, so why doesn't he have a voice now? Well, duh.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But next episode after 404.
Oh yeah, who is voicing Jenny?
She's been casted. I don't know if I can. I really gotta I'm part of the. I gotta get like a poll going on like, can I talk about? Because I can't reveal who's voicing who, unless the voice actor / actress specifically says yes, you can talk about that. I'm voicing the character.
Why is that though? I mean, why is that?
Respect of privacy. I should really just open up a poll at this point and just have people.
Actually, why don't you just talk to her? Talk to her about it.
Well, no, I have to. I mean, I can't obviously talk to her. Just call her up right now. But it's like,
no, I'm pretty sure she. All right, just send her an email or something. I'm pretty sure you have the address, right?
Of course I do, but I'm not. I'm
just
saying
send her an email, man. Just like saying, yo, someone was like.
Dan, you're missing the point. I'm saying I wouldn't get a response by the time the stream is over. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Okay.
I'm saying I should really come up with just a poll or something that I can send out to all the crew, and basically like, if you're voicing a character, can I say who you're voicing and who you are, and yes or no, and then I'll basically go off that.
Well, well, technically, you already announced who I am.
Well, yeah, because you were okay with it. That's my point.
I know.
I don't want to take.
It's not going to be worthless, anyways.
But anyway, some people like to do this anonymously. All right. So that being said, I'm going to move on to the next episode that we got planned here. After 404. Now, 404 is 409. This is why it was confusing. Just imagine how confusing this was for us when we're producing it. 404, the episode, is production code 409A. It is not production code 404. But
that's chronologically confusing.
Yes, it's very confusing when you're working on this. But production code 409B, the next episode, is called Gas Guzzling.
Oh, this is a funny one, actually.
Workload is stressful, enduring, and never-ending. However, this isn't even half of it for Jenny. All the crime fighting has been put her weeks behind in class. As a solution, she tries an alternative power source to keep her going. And this says gasoline, but that is not what we changed that. She is no longer drinking gasoline. She's drinking a fictional booster drink that affects machines. So basically, it's an episode where Jenny, it's actually based in a little bit on reality, where Jenny has a ton of work to do, has no time to do it, and is constantly fighting. Constantly fighting a sleep schedule stuff and recharge schedule and losing energy to get the stuff done. So she starts drinking these energy drinks to solve her problems, to give her more energy. And essentially, it surrounds that and Jenny becoming overly reliant, basically. So yeah,
is that supposed to be me as the Jenny?
No, ironically enough.
No, because it was giving an evil look. It was going like this.
A what?
That's an act of hero. Jenny's supposed to be a hero of that image.
Joe, it looked like it was giving an evil grin like this.
No, she.
Oh, okay. So I see what you mean. Like she's standing heroically over.
Guys.
So she's standing heroically over people. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically, so it's an episode where, Jenny, starts up energy drinking to try and handle, work. This is another episode where we're still in the rough draft form, but it's an episode where, again, the basic plot is that Jenny starts up drinking these energy drinks so she can handle crime fighting as well as superheroing. Well, I'm sorry, crime fighting and doing homework at the same time. All this excess workload. All right. So, yes. So the next episode, 410A, Man's Best Fiend, arriving from a distant.
Is Vendetta for Making Fiends going to be in this?
Well, I don't know, but
Hi, Vendetta.
it's just a play on words. It's man's best fiend instead of friend. Arriving from a distant dimension, a mysterious creature has an act for minor mayhem. I'm going to change the description of this too. I don't like minor mayhem. That doesn't make sense. Has an act for mayhem. However, this doesn't stop a lonely Tuck from taking it under his wing. Basically, a creature from a different dimension shows up in Trevorton, starts causing mayhem. What is that noise?
Wasn't me.
Well, basically, an extra-dimensional creature shows up in Tremerton. It finds Tuck. Tuck takes it as a pet, and that's the episode, basically, where it's like, that's the plot, at least. I'm not giving away the ending or what happens. I'm just like, that's the overall what happens during beginning of the episode, where it's, yeah. So it's following Tuck, having adventures. Basically, I'm trying to be as vague as possible here so I don't reveal the plot in its entirety, so it's still has some surprise. But it's this fourth dimensional creature thing comes from different dimension and messes stuff up, and Tuck befriends it and takes it as a pet and that sort of thing. So that is that episode, and then the next episode immediately following it, 410B, Years and Dragons. Game night is looking pretty average for the gang. Nothing is particularly interesting. Nonetheless, things. Oh God, I wrote these synopses a long time ago. These suck. These synopses suck. All right, game night is looking pretty. Listen to this. Game night is looking pretty average for the gang. Nothing is particularly interesting. Nonetheless, things always turn out to be more lively than usual. What the hell is that?
What?
What the hell?
Nathan,
Wait,
what?
what?
Here's the plot. Here's the better synopsis of the episode, okay? The gang has a game night.
I mean, Nathan must have been off his rocker that day.
The game has
Anyone agree?
trying to say a good plot synopsis here now. The gang has a regular game night every week, and they've essentially run out of games to play. They've run out of all the board games they can play. So Tuck bursts in the door with this different game that he's found on the table, and they start playing this game, and they get yeah, I can reveal this. This isn't a big they get sucked into the board game. It's kind of like Jumanji meets Zathura meets
technically
Dungeons and Dragons.
Jumanji and Zathura were technically in the same universe.
So it's
they're technically the same. They're technically in the same universe.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, Jumanji. Okay, I'll give you the gist. Jumanji was actually the first of a series, while Zathura was actually the sequel to it. Well, the book.
No, I know the books were related, but I didn't know the movies were.
Yeah, so technically, yeah. So
the
Jumanji
books are by the same author.
From the
that's
same author.
relation.
It's just that the characters from the children from Jumanji appeared in Zathura.
All right, but the point is, basically, they get sucked into this board game, and it's a mixture of Dungeons and Dragons and Jumanji, basically. And that's the premise of this game, of this episode, is where they get they have to play the game to escape it, sort of situation.
And Jenny make computer sounds.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check the live stream questions because I really want to. Well, ALMAO asks, what if someone played Jumanji and Zathura at the same time? That would be an interesting movie.
Oh,
I wish someone would make that movie. We could make it.
I don't think we could compute. Actually, I don't think I can compute logic, guys. I'm malfunctioning. Everybody, get down.
Zathanji, or maybe
Zathonji.
Zathura.
Welcome to the space jungle.
Yeah, that'd be cool though. That'd be cool if they find a way to mix the jungle.
I'll write it. Yeah.
Someone should do that.
It's just a fan fiction, though, if you're going to do that.
Well, I know, but no, I'm just saying in general, movie studios, someone should do that. That sounds like a cool premise where it's like someone plays the board game just at the same time.
I'm not sure. Well, actually, how are you supposed to do that, though?
Easy. It's just like they start playing one game, they get bored, they start playing the other, and then then the board games just start intertwining. That'd be cool. Anyway, moving on to this teenage robot.
He secretly adds chemical act.
I have a feeling that this next one is going to be a sucky synopsis.
Long cartoon.
All right, so deceiving images. Ooh, this is going to be hard to summarize.
Oh, this is another interesting.
It's going to be hard to summarize. Okay, this official synopsis is: sometimes you can't trust what your eyes tell you, and I know that doesn't give away a lot about the plot, but okay. How do I talk about this plot without giving away what it is? Because it's like we talked about this in earlier live streams, how Teenage Robot slowly becomes sequential for us. We start off very zany, very episodic, episode of the week sort of thing, and then we eventually evolve into sequential in season 4. We're using season 4 as kind of the stepping stone into that transitional sequential series. And this is the point where this episode has things come together from previous episodes, and it's coming to a head here, and I'm trying to find a way to describe what happens.
Plot twist, there is no plot. Perfect, Apocalypse. Perfect. There is no plot.
Yeah, it's plot twist. There is no plot.
It's basically just our characters sitting around in the living room doing nothing, and then Taco's like,
images.
What are we supposed to do?
Deceiving images is essentially Jenny
are definitely.
Jenny has to make sacrifices to.
We have to sacrifice us.
Spend time with someone. And I think that's about as much as I can give away for that plot without getting into big-time spoilery territory. And I mean big-time spoilery territory.
Big-time spoilery territory.
So, essentially, I know I'm sorry about being really vague here, guys, but Deceiving Images is essentially an episode about Jenny making sacrifices to spend time with someone. And that's it.
Such as burning them alive.
That's all I can give you. Yeah, but anyway, Roses and Violets is the next episode. 411.
Violets and Tigers.
And this one's a little more straightforward. So this one's I'm following up with a more straightforward episode. A mutant array of plant life threatens to consume the town. Can Jenny put a stop to the onslaught? It's basically an episode where this giant.
If it's basically like little. If you pretty much guess that this is like
town,
it's like you are right.
Like it's like the ending of Little Shop of Horrors when the plants
Little Shop of Horrors. Get it right.
Only like it's just that you start with that at the beginning and it just starts, and then Jenny has to like fight the oncoming onslaught of all these plants and find the source and eradicate it before it consumes the whole town. And that's essentially the episode. She fighting this big infection of plants. All right, so let's see I'm just reading any questions here. I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything?
Yes, you missed everything. That's what you missed. You missed everything. You are.
All right, I'm just gonna. All right, I don't think I missed any questions. All right, so moving on, we're coming up on the final. We're kind of on the final frontier. We are now on the last episode we can talk about, split up into two. All right, so 412A, System Error 51CK. Flu season is just about over, but there are still a few people left bed-stricken, including Sheldon, Dawn, and Jenny. Dun, dun, dun. What or who could be lurking around in Jenny's hardware? It is essentially an episode where Jenny gets sick. So that's.
Do you want to play?
So it's a concept where it's like, what if a robot got sick? What would that be like? How do you solve a robot from being sick? That sort of thing. So that is the entire premise of the episode. They have to Wakeman and the gang. Nora Wakeman has to figure out why Jenny Wakeman is sick. She's a robot. Why is she sick? You know, that's the premise of that episode. Then we get into 412B.
Oh, I love this. I usually refer to this.
I have to rephrase this synopsis because this is a spoilery synopsis. That's too spoilery. Android of the Opera. With the grand reopening of the Tremerton Opera House, Jenny and the gang head to a showing of Tosca. And
so yeah, we chose this one as this was a public domain.
Yeah, Tosca's a public domain song, and then talking about the actual plot of the episode. That's like the initiating, without giving away what goes on.
Frick was that, man?
Where? Okay, yeah, I got this. All right. With the grand reopening of the Tremerton Opera House, Jenny and the gang head to a showing of Tosca, but when they arrive, they find an unexpected guest, Skippy the Wonder Puppet. And that is essentially, I can't give away anything else about that episode. That is basically it. So that basically, because these episodes are starting to lead into what the final episode is. And the final episode is the one I mentioned it already in the stream. There is one episode that I can't talk about, can't mention, can't say the synopsis or the title name whatsoever, and that is the final episode 413.
Oh yeah.
Of season 4 at least. That is what I can guarantee of what it is specifically. It is the season 4 finale, of course. It is a special, and that's all basically I can give about at that point. It's not your standard half episode thing. It's a special, and it's a big one, and it's going to be the impact of that episode is going to be felt in season 5. So 413 is going to be a big one.
So for those who don't, I actually nicknamed the Andrew the Opera the Giallo episode.
The Giallo episode?
Giallo. It's an Italian.
Oh, I thought you meant like the Gallo, like the
well, it's Giallo. It's for those who don't know, it's an Italian subgenre of horror that's basically like a slasher film. But with like it's stylized with guys with black gloves killing pretty girls.
Interesting. I don't think we kept that per se. Because there's definitely not any murders going on in Android of the Opera, but
I want there to.
Anyway, yeah. So that being said, that is season 4 in its entirety, aside from the final episode, which again we can't talk about yet.
Hey, what are you thinking of the final? Oh yes,
that being said,
probably know what I'm thinking of the final episode is.
Well, yeah, I think of course, we the crew know what the final episode is. It's the one, but yeah, it's the we can't talk about the final season finale yet of season 4 yet, because even the title alone kind of gives away what we're doing. We got to keep that one under wraps for a while. Anyway, that being said, does anyone have any questions? We're about 10 minutes from ending the stream. We have celebrated the 15 years of Teenage Robot, talking about how we encountered Teenage Robot and how this series.
We hadn't talked about it yet.
And you guys came in. So
wait. Can I say how I discovered it?
Well, yeah. That does remind me. You guys haven't said so yet. But my primary question for everybody was,
my first
for the stream at least, for the people in the chat right now, is does anyone have any questions on the synopsis that we just dropped? Basically, we dropped our entire roster of season 4 episodes aside from the final episode. Does anyone have any questions on that? Christian McLaughlin asked, will the Crust Cousins evolve and grow as characters? Not in season 4. They kind of stay their old nasty selves in season 4. But that's not to say they never will. Just in season 4, they don't.
All right, so can I explain how I started up discovering Teenage Robot?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so it was late. I first discovered the show in, I can't remember per se, but I think it was either late 2003. It was late one night. I think it was a weeknight, I believe. I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I was upstairs in this a playroom, as we used to call it, and one of the episodes played, and I still remember it to this day. It was See No Evil, which was my first episode that I've ever saw. And afterwards, I've actually wanted. I know it was even though I only saw it once, I kept thinking, "What is this show?" And I actually wanted to see more of it. And I actually gained sort of a cult, sort of became a giant fan of Jenny per se, and she, But then afterwards, it kind of the show vanished on me as I moved on to other shows like Teen Titans, which was still going on at the time. But then in 2008, I resurfaced on the show and found out that there was 2 other seasons and a film, Escape from Prime. Then I found out in 2009 that it got canceled, and I was really upset about it. And then I'm still thinking whether I should do a reaction video of this, because this, oh my gosh, it's really cringy. I actually did a Lego video.
Yeah,
I kind of consider myself sort of the forefathers of attempting to reboot it.
I'm not gonna lie, when I thought of the idea of doing Teenage Robot, I came across the Lego trailer with the stick figure.
Yeah.
Moon.
So technically I'm kind of considered one of the forefathers of actually coming up with this. So that's a little twist for all y'all. But yeah, it was I was sort of like the Ed Wood of trying to create it, because I did not know how to write a script. I had a crappy video camera and Legos. That was it. I did not know how to animate. I didn't know how to do it. And I actually wanted to do a second episode. I actually did film some videos, but they were never released, and they're now lost. But then then I still was a fan of the show. But then by 2012, it faded away from me again as Teen Titans came back and hit me again. Then in 2014, I was scouting around through the internet, and I found out about this project, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should jump on the board and get as well as part of this. And voila, here I am right now. Mm-hmm. Although I signed up in 2015, it didn't start 2016 because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to get on the meetings and stuff. So it took me, I signed up in January 2015. I didn't start until April 2016. Pretty funny.
All right, so
anyone else got any interesting stories?
Nick's got his story of how we met.
How you guys about it too. So I think I remember seeing an episode of Teenage Robot back around maybe 2005, maybe one of the older episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I couldn't remember back then. But when I rediscovered Teenage Robot, it was sometime in 2013, and that's 2012, 2013, and that back then I was doing remixes and stuff, and came across Teenage Robot. So I eventually decided to look into the show and thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when, sometime later around September 2014, I saw the teaser trailer for the first time, and oh my goodness, that was fantastic. And signed up right away.
Yeah, I kind of was excited.
I'm one of the first production crew members hired.
Nick's one of the OG crew members way back in the day.
Still going strong.
Yeah, although I've kind of broke apart a little bit now that I have my own project I'm working on, which still is in development. I do come in actually every once in a while, and I still enjoy it because I still want this project to fully see the light of day, and to actually be fully appreciated. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, for those who don't know, the Teenage Robot T-shirt is back online on Amazon.
Oh,
so go order now.
Right. That's totally right.
Go order now. Go order now.
It's a long time ago. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, hey Nate, check this out. I placed an order for that shirt, and it's gonna come August 1st.
That's ironic.
I'm actually wearing mine right now.
A long time ago.
For those who don't know, order now. Order now.
For those who don't know, back in I think what was it?
I think it was last year.
It was last year, October-ish. Hot Topic had a Teenage Robot shirt available for purchase, and they sold out within a week.
Yeah, so actually, it was a major hit.
I don't know if it's sold by Hot Topic again, but I do know that it's sold directly by Nickelodeon on one of their websites. So I'm sure if you just type in Teenage Robot T-shirt, it'll come up. But yeah, it'd be amazing if we can make it sell out again.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, Apocalypse. So just do it. Make your dreams come true.
Let's see. Teenage Robot shirt.
Oh yeah, and a simple fan here told me. Oh yeah, a simple fan here told me about these shirts returning. Bloodborne Virus. I'm talking about you, my man.
Simple. Let's see.
And in honor of the 15th anniversary, I'm about to.
I wrote the second version of the line. Oh wait, I got the second version. Don't worry.
I'm trying to look for the actual link.
To this, Bloodborne Virus.
I don't think it's sold by Hot Topic.
I'm gonna get Bloodborne Virus on the Discord.
I don't think the Teenage Robot shirt is sold by Hot Topic anymore.
Folks, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Mime's Teenage Robot, I put together a lot of remixes of Mime's Teenage Robot with some remixers like Left Boy, Gastro, and the Blue Jay mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming August 1st. Project 9 1.0. It's a sequel to Project 9, and it's more improved than the original album itself. It'll be coming to Bandcamp. It's coming to Fanburst, a site called Fanburst, as well as YouTube. Get your download links ready on August 1st.
All right, let's see.
Also
where that link is. I want to post it for everybody. Gosh, where is it? Where's the new Teenage Robot shirt being sold?
On the internet.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's still all sold out on Hot Topic. Gosh. I'm trying to find where it is because it is available for purchase now. I just don't know where it is. I'm going to find that before we start signing off here.
Perhaps it's Redbubble.
Okay, y'all. So let's see.
It's on Amazon.
No, they're on Amazon. They're on the extra large ones are still sold. Good thing I got my own.
Shirt, Amazon. Is it distributed through Amazon this time around?
Yeah, it's available through Amazon. The t-shirts.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's
Hold
what
on,
it is.
I'll give you the link through the chat. Hold on, I'll give you guys the link. You can thank Bloodborne Virus.
Oh wow, yeah, it's on Amazon, guys.
And it's in a bunch of different colors.
For you guys to check it out. All right. Oh, come on!
Yeah, it comes with different colors. Yeah, cool. Yeah, here's a link.
Color. I just chose the black one. I just chose black because it was the original.
These are no longer sold out. They're in production again. Make them get sold out.
Oh, come on! I didn't even do that.
What?
I was trying to paste in the link, but unfortunately, it told me, "Oops, remove any." Well,
Yeah,
but-
it does.
Because,
Yeah, for some reason,
I'm pretty sure the poster, the live stream host is the only one who has the power to post links. So, yeah, go buy it, guys.
I'm actually wearing mine right now.
Actually, I got here's what I'm gonna say when I get the shirt.
I already have the.
Hold there, Vexus! I told you! No invasion!
Yeah, easy, Sam. I'm tempted to buy the Navy one, but I already got a black.
Just buy all the colors.
Yeah, just buy all. Buy everything, guys. Buy them all. All right. That being said, I think we're gonna wrap up here, guys. I'm going to be updating the website later tonight with all the new synopsis stuff, and I'm going to be writing a few new synopsis because some of those sucked. As well as this casting call number 4 is going to be posted later today. Yeah, thank you guys for coming down on the live stream today, and happy
returns to the
anniversary of Teenage Robot. Even though the real date is on the August 1st, but you know, we do what we can. Yeah.
Howdy ho there, Vexus! Let's kill you! No invasion!
That being said, guys, thanks for coming down, and yeah, see you guys later, guys.
Many happy returns of the day, Teenage Robot.
Yeah.
Let's have this come back to life!
All right, guys, see ya.
Bye-bye!